Today we're going to install the Sic Shop quick fuel disconnect for the F4i. You're going to have a return line disconnect and a supply line disconnect as well. I will have those links in the description for you. The F4i gas tank isn't the easiest thing to take off without making a mess everywhere. The supply line has banjo bolts on each end. There's no quick way to get the hose off without spilling gas everywhere all over the middle of your bike. These two snap connectors will make taking the tank off so much easier. You won't have to deal with spilling gas everywhere, and if you have to keep taking the tank on and off, it'll just make the whole process so much quicker. To remove the gas tank, you want to take out the two bolts up here first. Leave the two back here because you can then just prop the tank up. I'm just using a piece of wood. You have a sensor right here, this black connector that connects to the bottom of the tank right there. You want to disconnect that. Back here, you have two hoses on this close side here. My other one is sitting right here disconnected. I have to put that back in. And then the overflow hose right there. Get those off. And then we can worry about the return and supply fuel lines. I got the tank off. It was a little more difficult than I expected. These return hoses, I could not get off the barbed ends for the life of me on either side here. I tried everything I could do to try and get it off, and it just wasn't coming. So what I did is I just made the cut already for the fuel disconnect. I just cut it right down the middle with a pair of wire cutters. So I'll just take the barb and put them on each end, and I don't have to worry about taking it off from the fuel pump side or off of this side. I would recommend siphoning out as much gas as possible. We pretty much empty the tank. When you cut this, you have a little bit of gas that spills out, and then when you take off the supply line there, a little bit spills out. I took it off of the fuel pump side first, as you saw, and then I took it off of the fuel rail side second, and just a little bit of gas spilled. That's why I put the towels there, but I also removed those bolts first and kind of flipped the tank upside down, and that gave me better access to the hoses there. But the tank's off. I'm going to take the barbs and fit them on the return line. I'm going to cut the supply line down the middle with a pair of box cutters, and then fit those quick fuel disconnects on, snap them in, and go from there.
One thing I'll mention before you lock down the tank the rest of the way, remove the support and lay it back down on top of the airbox, and make sure none of the hoses or your fuel lines are kinked. If everything looks good, you should be good to go. You can bolt in the 2 front bolts in the tank, and you've completed the quick fuel disconnect install.
Hottest stash in the carpet. Yeah, we trapping out apartments. I